lower weights and move back up to the heavyweights. And it's time now for a word from Herbie Hyde. And Herbie, make it snappy, will you?
Ole Harris, I know you're getting ready to fight. Good fight. I hope you keep winning so you can fight a real man, a real rude boy from London, England. You know we coming for you. So keep winning and quit fighting them bums. Fight somebody that want to fight you, that's going to fight you back. You're getting all that money. You're making all those pounds over there. Fight the real men. We coming for you, Ole Harris.
Audley Harrison's 10th professional fight. You can see it live on BBC One, 11:20 on Saturday week. And if Audley Harrison was almost yesterday's new big thing, the man who succeeded him is David Haye, the cruiserweight. 3 fights, 3 wins, all by knockout. Could he make it 4 tonight against Phil Day? Commentary from Richie and Jim.
Second round.
Well, both men in black trunks, but David Haye, the taller of the two, with those black locks of his nicely crimped. Back in action after just a break of a fortnight. He had another peculiar win when he stopped a gentleman called Roger Bowden in 1 round in Miami just a couple of weeks ago. And here he's in with somebody who one hopes will certainly put up a better show. And the challenge comes from the man from Daventry, one Phil Day, now 28 years old. Came back to boxing just at the end of last year after a 4.5-year gap. Good shot by Haye straight away. Left hand is right in there, and that was a wicked-looking right, came over the top. So Haye looking very trim indeed, 13 stone 7, and I don't think I've seen him, Richie, look quite as neat and taut as this.
Yeah, he looks in absolutely superb shape, as he always does, but yeah, tonight he looks in great condition, and again, extremely quick and powerful at the start of the contest. But Day, fair play to him, he's come out and he's taken the fight to David Haye, which is good to see, it's encouraging to see, but Haye, again, very, very sharp.
Phil Day holding on the blind side of the referee, Jeff Hines. Haye, silver medalist in the World Championships in Belfast in June of 2001. Trained now by Adam Booth. Made his debut in December of last year when he stopped Tony Booth, no relation, in 2 rounds. Then in Sheffield at the end of January, stopped a useful Frenchman, Zabir Zairi, in 4, and then had that, well, verging on the farcical contest in Miami a couple of weeks ago. Haye, very tall, even for a cruiserweight. He's close to 6 feet 3 inches tall. That's a very fast right hand from Haye, and it's his sheer hand speed and athleticism, I think, that's impressed everybody all the way through his amateur career, Richie.
Yeah, very, very quick for a big man. And in particular tonight with that right hand, very fast right hand counters are coming from Haye, and that certainly surprised Day. He just cannot adapt with the speed of David Haye tonight.
Well, Day did most of his boxing in his first spell as a paid performer as a light heavyweight. He's moved up to cruiser, and I think he's going to find David Haye a little bit too strong for him. There's a look of anxiety on the face of Phil Day. That was a slip. 20-odd seconds to go to the end of the first round, and I think Phil Day has perhaps bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. He's holding once again on the blind side of the referee. A little bit of bruising underneath his left eye. He hasn't quite got the timing right. He's just been probably working at about 75% accuracy. And as ever has that left hand of his held a little bit on the low side. Phil Day shoves him away, and I think he will be quite happy to get the first 3 minutes out of the way. So David Haye not bothering to sit down, looking in excellent shape. Just 3 contests, 3 wins, 3 inside the distance, and so far Mick Williamson, that fine cutsman, hasn't been needed. Daventry's Phil Day began his professional career way back in July of 1995, and well, tootled along until 98 and then stopped. Well, there is a slight nick there. There's a little bit of blood on that swab. That was a very good right hand from David Haye, and the second one wasn't too far away, but there seems to be a tiny, tiny little bit of blood over that right eyebrow, which will give them a certain amount of worry.
Second round, round 2.
Well, this cruiserweight contest between the two men in black is scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. Once again, Phil Day holding on to the left arm of the World Amateur Championship silver medalist. Was beaten in the final in Belfast by an excellent Cuban, Orlani Orsolas, who lost in an international tournament to a good Russian recently. Fast hands from Haye. Phil Day's actually boxing the right contest against someone as good as David Haye.
Well, what he's trying to do here, although he gets caught with the right hand there coming in, he's trying to get closer to David Haye, so he's trying to tie David Haye up on the inside and restrict David Haye from actually working. But the problem he's got is getting caught with big, heavy shots as he's walking forward. Haye is so fast with his reactions. He really is an awesome talent.
Uppercut with the right, delivered the left, and Phil Day down. Just a minute gone in the second round. Up at 8. The referee's had a good look at him. He says he's fine to continue. Well, we'll soon find out. That was a nice combination by Haye. There's a lovely little clip round the corner. And Phil Day, I think, is realizing that this genuine, fast-hit, fast-punching, hard-hitting cruiserweight is just a bit too much for him. Haye getting through now with that left all the time, trying to set his man up for the right. Fast on the counter, Haye. Against better opponents, he'll have to worry about the way he's holding his left hand in particular. But he's not too bothered at this stage, obviously.
Oh, superb right hand again there from Haye. As Day came in and just led with that left hand, David Haye reacts with a superb right hand counter. Excellent shot.
I think if Haye looks back at this contest, he'd probably be his own critic. Less than a minute to go. It's a good right hand. That's not going to be allowed to continue. And Phil Day took one shot too many. Good piece of refereeing by Jeff Hines, Richie.
Superb decision by the referee, because Phil Day there, he was just literally going to take a beating. And David Haye, as ever, very spectacular, very impressive. And just the speed and sharpness and the power tonight again. Excellent.
Well, no substitute for speed and indeed accuracy. Phil Day got himself caught a scything little uppercut, and well, the left was well away, and it was that little uppercut, I think, put him down, and I think maybe his appetite for the whole contest had just disappeared by the time David Haye caught him again. And once again, the right hand high on the temple, and Jeff Hines straight in, and David Haye has made it 4 wins and 4 inside the distance.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2 minutes and 9 seconds of round 2, the referee, Mr. Jeff Hines, has stopped the contest. In his opinion, Phil Day in no position to continue. The winner, and still undefeated, David Haye.
So David Haye looking particularly impressive once again. It's made up for the situation which occurred in Miami and Florida just a couple of weeks ago, when he came in against one Roger Bowden, who didn't particularly want to know about that. And David Haye has made it 4 out of 4. Very personable young man, as well as being a very good boxer indeed. And I think he's going to be asked to come over and have a little word with us.
David, well done. It continues to go really well. 4 out of 4.
Yep. Yeah, 4 out of 4. I turned pro in December, and it's March now, so fought one fight a month. That's exactly the schedule that we wanted, and we got it so far. So hopefully we can keep getting quality guys. He was very strong, good heart, and came to win, and that's what I need. Pushed me back to the ropes a couple of times, so I got a chance to work on my defence. So I was really happy with the event.
Yeah, the conditioning, once again, you've hardly broken into a sweat. And I noticed at the end of the first round, you didn't even bother to sit down.
Yeah, I wasn't out of breath, I wasn't tired, so it was pointless sitting down. I don't sit down in the gym when I'm sparring, so I'm not going to sit down in a fight.
Yeah, would you adapt that all the way through, you know, 5, 6 rounds?
Hopefully, yeah. it shouldn't be any. If I feel the way I'm feeling now, there's no reason to sit down.
Interesting. Let's show you how it ended.
Yeah.
And I guess there was no doubt what was going to happen. Have a look at this.
Yeah, I sort of grazed him with an uppercut, and I was looking for that shot. I knew he came in with his head low, so slipped round the shot through a nice right uppercut, and it sort of glanced off his temple, disorientated him. But I was really happy with it, thanks to Puma, third space, and Booth, my trainer. Everything's gone smooth. Jonathan Price, I'm really happy with everything that's gone on so far, and hopefully backing him up back in the ring next month.
And as you say, probably a fight every month. So just a final thought, would you envisage that perhaps in 3 to 4 months you might fight for a Southern Area title? What would the plan be?
Yeah, ideally, as soon as possible, I'm ready to fight for titles. You saw there that these sort of calibre of opponents can't really extend me and push me. I think the only way I can get them extended is by getting in there with a quality operator and someone who's going to really extend me. But guys like that, good little tune-ups, good. I was working on a few things that I was doing in the gym. And I'm just really happy with everything.
Well done. Go and have a sit down now.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot. Cheers.
Well done.
Well, you can only beat what's put in front of you. So what was put in front of David Haye tonight?
An average fighter by British standards, to be fair. And I think he came to give it his best. He was skill-wise out of his depth, but he tried to beat David Haye. He took the fight to him from the start. David Haye, I think when he put David Haye under pressure immediately, David thought, this is business. I'll show what I've got. He hit him with some very stiff jabs. I like the power of his jabs. He picked his punches. Don't see many combinations from Haye, but he picks his shots very well. There's a lot of power there.
And he does have this tremendous swagger about him, doesn't he?
Well, he's got the whole thing. I mean, you see him, he walks around before the fight in a black fur coat. He gets up in the ring, he's got presence. If you're talking to people, when he gets in the ring, they suddenly stop talking and look over at David Haye. And that's part of it. He's not making any mad claims here. What he's saying is, I'll fight any cruiserweight in Britain. He's not saying I could beat any cruiserweight in Britain. He's saying I'll fight any cruiserweight in Britain. And he's getting rid of people like Phil Day, who, as Claude said, are only medium fighters. He's getting rid of them easily, quickly, and without any problems.
OK, well, David Haye could be a very big name before too long.